Okay, we're at gotomath.com. Find the indefinite integral. So we got the integral of 9 secant x dx. The integral of 9 secant x dx. So I'm going to rewrite, just bring the 9 out front. Okay. Switch back to the page there before you know it. Okay, so this would be one of those ones you got to remember. We got 9, so the integral of secant x dx is the natural log of the absolute value of secant x plus tan x plus c. Alright, so it's one of these ones you'll need to memorize. Okay. So once again, we can actually take the derivative of this and get back the integrand, and heck, let's just do it. So we got f of x, capital F of x, is equal to 9 natural log of secant x plus tan x, close that off, plus c. So f prime of x is equal to, alright, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this 9 here and start a parentheses. So the derivative of secant x, do we remember what that is? Okay, so the derivative of secant x is going to be tan x times secant x. So back in the day you were supposed to have memorized that, plus, and then the derivative of tan x is secant squared x, and of course the constant is 0. Now remember, we got this 9 out here, so you got to kind of multiply all the way across. Okay, so that's the natural log. Now we took the derivative of the inside, but then remember, you got to remember, whoa man, what a line that was. So secant x, we rewrite everything in the bottom here. Secant x plus tan x, right, goes down here in the denominator. But man, we got to get all that stuff to collapse down to this. This is like one of those trig proofs, remember? So what is that? Sine over cosine, 1 over cosine, and that's going to be 1 over cosine squared. Alright, we're running out of room here. Let me scroll up the screen here. We're just showing that f prime of x, we're going to continue this right here. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this. This is, and I'm going to go ahead and leave this 9 outside. Leave it out in the cold. So this becomes, this guy right here becomes sine x over cosine x, and then this becomes 1 over cosine x plus 1 over cosine squared x. And then, what do we got going on now? Okay, so then we can, so let's see, we're turning everything into sines and cosines, it looks like here. So we have 1 over cosine x, right, plus sine x over cosine x. That's what the tan would be there. So we got to get all this, we got to reduce this thing down. Are you having fun yet? And you know what? Let's just continue this over here now. We get plenty of room. So we end up with 9. Now, we have a cosine squared x here and a cosine squared x here. So we have a common denominator. So we end up with sine x plus 1 over cosine squared x. And then that's all over. So we've got, what do we got going on here? Well, we got a common denominator, cosine x, so we can just say 1 plus sine x over cosine x, right? And anyway, this should be brought down here. Okay, so what's going on now? Well, I can see right here we can, what can we do here? This is going to end up getting flipped. So we're going to have 9 sine x plus 1 over, no sense in skipping any steps now, times, and so we end up with a cosine x over 1 plus sine x, right? Well, look what's going to happen here. We're going to go ahead and rewrite this 9. We've got sine x plus 1x, sine x plus 1 and 1 plus sine x, same thing. Those are going to cancel out. Let's just use some different colors here. So those are going to cancel out, right? You got a cosine x up here in the top. You got 1 cosine x down here. So one of these are going to cancel out, and you're just going to be left with a 1 right here. One of them right down here in the denominator. So actually what happens is when the smoke clears, we end up with this. Isn't that amazing? And of course, this can actually be written as 9 secant x. Whoa. Man, how about all that work? 9 secant x. And look at what we've got up here. 9 secant x. Isn't that amazing? So, if you remember taking trigonometry, and remember doing that? Taking trig? And it was like you wanted to show that this, or this, was equal to this. How do we get there? Well, here's a reason why we do that. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, turned out that's what we were doing. Alright. So let's go back. This was the answer, 9 natural log secant x plus tan x plus c. Right. Looks like I already hit the answer there. 9 natural log of secant x plus tan x plus c. Okay. So it's worth going through all that. Anyway, head on over to gotomath.com and maybe I'll see you there.